approach will serve us.
Okay,
Mr MacNeil, Trade Committee Chair.
So you're an advocate, as we all know, of Brexit. You're now an advocate of trade deals, which I think we'll both agree in the circumstances are a good thing, given where we are. Now, your government figures will say that Brexit will cost something like 4.9% of GDP, the OBR 4% of GDP, and we can correspond that for ease of understanding to £490 or £400. The question I want to ask you is, what will you recoup in the trade deals that you're now an advocate of? With New Zealand, for instance, how much will you recoup, either in percentages or pounds? And Australia, what will you recoup?
I think that both deals will give opportunities
numbers.
to... I can't give you numbers. It depends.
Luckily, I'm here because
it depends how much the Australians and the New Zealanders decide to buy.
Let the Prime Minister answer the question.
Thank you, Sir Bernard. What we do have is a big opportunity for Scottish beef, for Scottish whiskey. No, it's not. These industries...
Well, the numbers you're looking for...
Let the Prime Minister answer the question, and I'll come back.
With respect, Mr. Chairman, he's waffling. I'm looking for numbers. He hasn't got numbers, so I'm wanting to progress.
The UK deal alone could increase exports by about £100 million. That's a substantial...
Okay.
Well, that will be Scotch whisky.
Larger.
Is that to be? Are you nickling?
No. I'm
turning up your nose at that.
I'm saying.
You against it. SNP is against every free trade deal that's ever done.
No, I've just
and by the way,
with it.
never let it be forgotten. They were against joining the EU.
Stop heckling yourself. What we're looking for here is the answer is for £400 or £490 that Brexit costs. £400 or £490 Brexit costs. An Australian trade deal will take back £2. And a New Zealand trade deal would take back £1. So you're still £487 out of pocket, is the deal that you've landed the British people. And that is why you have the problems you have. You're in a pickle with Ireland, as well you know. It's probably knows the British problem in Ireland. Has Ireland been independent a nuisance to you, Prime Minister? Because I sometimes wonder if you wish it never became independent and richer per capita than the UK, or are you quite happy that it has? I mean, what is your relationship with Ireland at the moment, given the threat of the protocol and your triggering of 16?
We have terrific relations with Dublin, and I think they're just about our biggest trading partner.
Fantastic. At least you didn't quibble that they were being independent and in the EU, and some of the wider-eyed Brexiteers do quibble a bit. Moving on, do you think yourself, Sir Keir Starmer and Sir Ed Davies should stop sending big-value donors to the House of Lords, commonly known as cash for honours, and seen as a very corrupt practice internationally?
I think didn't you raise that with me earlier on today?
Yes, and I'm looking for an answer. Well, it was actually my colleague,
yes.
Jonathan Edwards, applied. I happened to be sitting beside him.
That's right. I saw you jumping up and down. And look, I think the answer to
should the practice end?
The answer to that is that these are by and large men and women who have contributed a huge amount to public life.
Like £3 million.
Until you get rid of the system by which the trades union barons fund other parties, we have to go ahead, or you have a completely taxpayer funded system of politics. We need to continue with a system by which public spirited people give donations,
but find themselves in the House of Lords. This is selling peerages.
The people who, the people you're talking about have done, I think, things that acts of great public service for a long time.
You say you believe in levelling up. When will you level up the electricity market that's working against many parts of Scotland? Green energy that could be produced in Scotland's islands is cost far more due to the structures of your government to take green energy to the main UK market than to buy it from the equivalent distance in the continental market. It's something, if you believe in levelling up, that the transmission and distribution costs need to be equalised for fairness, and not just that, but for climate targets to be caught. And a very serious point in Scotland's islands could, if interconnectors were there and the right CFD levels were given, could make you less reliant, actually, on European producers.
There is an issue about the cost of transmission, and you're right to raise it. We're looking at it.
Okay, thank you for that. Last point I want to raise with you was when we spoke in this format happily 14 months ago. I see you recall it. You said, I asked you about who would be responsible in the UK for empty supermarket shelves, and you said it's certainly going to be me and the government. Do you stand by that still?
Yes, I do.
You're responsible for the empty supermarket shelves.
What do you mean by responsible? Well, responsible for trying to help improve supply chains. That's now starting to happen. But the problems, the responsibility for the problem is one that's caused by a great many global factors. If you're talking about HGV drivers, there are shortages of HGV drivers around the world. You did, I remember. But there are shortages of HGV drivers in the United States and in China and across the world. What we're doing now is trying to accelerate the progression.
Do you think Brexit's made it worse?
No, I think that it's a pan-European problem, and what we want to see is people in this country wanting to become HGV drivers because it's a well-paid, highly skilled job with good conditions. And I think sometimes, frankly, the conditions have not been very attractive, least of all for women.
Thank you, Sir Ben.
Well, Prime Minister, if you want me to renew my HGV Class 1 licence, I'm standing by.
Yeah, well, I think
Jeremy Hunt, anyway. Health Committee Chair.
Prime Minister, there's no one after me, so you can relax and take your time. I've just got two topics, and I'm sure we can get through them briefly.